coming tonight. Trayvon Bryant, our guest tonight, was born and raised in St. Augustine, Florida, where he attended Pedro Menendez High School. Trayvon was a high-caliber athlete, receiving 6 football scholarships to play Division I football. He committed to the University of New Hampshire Wildcats, where he set records in being named the strongest athlete, pound for pound, in UNH's athletics history. He also became the first 2-time team captain. Trayvon started a 2-year master's degree program in adolescent development. Completing his undergrad in human development and family studies, Trayvon has always had a passion for youth and their development. After completing his 5th year of football at the university, Trayvon completed his master's degree working as an academic advisor for undeclared freshmen at UNH, and then transitioned into where he is now as a hall director in the resident life department at UNH. While obtaining both jobs, Trayvon has been sharing his message all over the world through social media and making guest appearances at many schools and sports teams, uplifting others with his message. So thank you all for coming. Let's give him a round of applause and welcome him.
Tell me who you are. That's the first thing I heard God say when I tore my ACL. He said, this is where you define yourself. You define yourself through the hard times. And every time we think the problems we face are solely about us, when in reality, it's for the betterment and the development of others. What makes you so special that you were given the opportunity to recover when someone else didn't? You were chosen. Prove God right. Find your purpose. Build your empire. Believe in yourself. All right. What's up, guys? How we doing? How we doing? Come on, a little bit more energy than that, man. Come on, that's what we're
Stamina and their sexual potency.
Awesome, thank you so much. All right, well, first off, I just want to say, it's an honor to be here, and I just want to thank Christy and Coach Chris and the entire Suffield Academy organization for putting this on and allowing me to come in and speak with you all tonight. And I want you guys to really just open up tonight, man. I want you to open your minds and just really listen up, because we're going to talk about some things, right? As men, right? I've been in the same position as you all, and I know what you all are going through. I know what you're thinking about. I know what you're dealing with. And I've been through some things, and I've been able to share my story and my experiences with a lot of different people, being able to connect with them on different levels. And so I hope that I'm able to do that with you all tonight. And so let me go ahead and go to the next slide over here real quick. So as I was coming here, I took a wrong turn, right? And it took me an extra 10 minutes to get here. But as I pulled up to campus, I started to reflect back on a time where I was in high school, right? I was sitting in the same seat where you are. I'm from St. Augustine, Florida. I was in a single-parent home. My father's presence wasn't there that much in my life. And it was crazy. I had a goal, I had a dream, I had something that I wanted to accomplish, right? And I was challenged. I was challenged with some things, as many of you are right now, right? The thing that I was challenged with was not allowing me to see the dream, the goal, and the vision that I had for myself. It wasn't allowing me to see myself accomplishing that dream and that goal, right? And so that dream and that goal was to make it to the NFL, right? To make it to the pros. Like I said, I'm from St. Augustine, Florida. We breathe, sleep, and eat football. That's what we do, right? I mean, from the time that I was 2 years old, I had a ball inside my hand. And the crazy thing was that, I had some friends, I had some teammates who were also Division I caliber athletes. And as we began to go through this process of trying to pursue our dreams of getting a Division I scholarship, one thing that I noticed was that every single college coach that came to the school and sat down and they looked at me from head to toe, measuring my body, right? They wanted to put an offer on it. They said, you have the speed, you have the ability, you have the heart, you have the grit. Every single thing that a Division I scholarship athlete, that it requires of an athlete to have, you have it all. but I didn't have the height. A lot of coaches turned me down because I didn't have the size. I didn't have the physical image that they wanted. So that begins to bring up some insecurities in myself, right? I began to start feeling down on myself, right? Because I'm not tall enough. That was something that I couldn't control, right? I didn't ask to be born to a mom and dad that were 5'7" and 5'4", you know? But then again, at the end of the day, I started to look at my friends who were getting Division I scholarships, 3 scholarships here, next day 12 scholarships there, all these big-time schools, and I'm saying I'm doing the same thing. I'm making the same accomplishments as them, right? What's making me so different? And I was so angry at the fact that I was different and that the situation was different that I didn't understand that we're different and that's what makes us the same. And so you probably say, Trey, what does that mean? Stand up for me.
What does that mean?
No, stand up for me. I have a question for you.
All right.
What's your dream? What's your dream, or what's the goal or something that you want to accomplish in life?
I'm a kid in college.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay, cool, right there. My man right here in the black. Stand up for me real quick. What's one of your dreams? What's one of your goals?
I want to play in the MLB.
NLB. Awesome. All right. How tall are you?
5'11".
How tall are you?
Like 5'9".
5'9", right? Now, see, the difference is he's 5'9", he's 5'11", right? But the thing that makes us the same is that each one of you have a goal to be successful, right? And you can sit down. Each one of you have a goal to be successful. So we're different, and that's what makes us the same. The same is that we're all trying to be successful. We want to reach a goal. And once I realized that as an athlete, once I realized that, that's when I began to start changing my mindset, right? I had to get to a point in a place to where I had to start rehealing my mindset, my thoughts of myself, because I was in an ill place. I began to talk down on myself, y'all, like real bad. And I mean depression. I mean anxiety, right? I wasn't normal Trayvon. You heard the accomplishments that I've had at University of New Hampshire. Imagine what I did in high school. Yeah, I did all of that, right? But I wasn't in the right mindset in order to be successful at the next level, and so I had to start all over. I had to create a healthy mindset. You see this picture right here on the left, and you'll look at it and you'll say, wow, this guy's strong, this guy's big. He probably gets all the girls, he probably gets all the attention, right? Nothing in life is hard for him, right? You begin to start comparing yourself. Comparison is poison to success. And that's what I found myself doing right in the same position that you all are in. I began to start comparing myself to my friends who were being successful. I began to start comparing myself to everyone around me, right? But see, what we need to understand is that the only thing that's bad about comparison is how we use it. We use comparison, right, to judge ourselves based off of somebody else's success. When you should use comparison in order to get ideas, extract knowledge and information from somebody else, right? If they're doing what it is that you're doing, you should use comparison to extract ideas to add it on to what you're doing, right? But don't put it in a position to where, oh, he's doing better than me. I'll never be that good. He runs faster than me. I'll never be able to run faster than him, right? He's smarter than me. He's always going to have 4.0. I'm always going to be at 3.9, right? Talking down to yourself. Instead of going to the other side and saying, wow, he's faster than me. I wonder what are some of the drills. Hey, can I talk to you about some of the drills that you do to help you get faster? Okay, take that back to your game, right? That's how we should use comparison. And so again, we shouldn't use comparison to gain, or we should use comparison to gain ideas, but not judge ourselves. The difference between medicine and poison is in the dose, right? So it depends on how you use it. It depends on how you use it. I'm gonna say that again. The difference between medicine and poison is in the dose, right? Second thing, right? In order for us to create a healthy mind, we have to speak positive words over ourselves, guys. We have to speak positive words over ourselves. How often do y'all speak positive words over yourself? How often do you get up in the morning, look in the mirror, right, and say, I'm handsome, I'm smart, I'm gonna win the day, right? Even when your body's hurting, even when you're sick, even when you're in a sling, even when you're on crutches with a boot and you gotta sit it up so it doesn't hurt. Yeah, trust me, I know all about it, buddy, right? How often do you talk positive to yourself? Because words are value, guys. Words are value, right? And something that I learned is that if I put more value into the thoughts that others have of me, I would be worthless, right? Because each one of you want to be successful. Each one of you are accomplishing dreams and goals, and the people that are connected to you, the people that are around you, are not going to want to see you succeed. at least not further than them, right? So they're going to have some thoughts. They're going to have some judgments about you all. And if you put more value in the thoughts of what they have of you, you're going to be worthless. But if you speak positivity over yourselves and understand that words themselves are value, and you speak those positive words to yourself, you're going to be putting value in your own bank, right? So I'm great, I'm smart, I'm handsome. That's 1,000 points, right? I'm wonderful. I know that I can accomplish, right? That's another 1,000 points. But if you're over here on this side and you're saying, I might not get it today, you can deduct 5,000 points from your bank of value, right? The words that you speak are value. So how much value are you speaking into yourself today, right? Again, that's the second step of how we create a healthy mind. Now, I'm speaking about this from a person who was broken down mentally because it seemed like my height was the only thing that was stopping me from achieving my goal and my dream, right? Which is to play at the Division I level and possibly get the opportunity to play at the pros. Number 3, making healthier choices. Foods. What are you eating, right? Who in here is really into nutrition or wants to develop a better body or stronger? Yeah, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise it high. Raise it high, right? We're all in here. We're all achieving a goal that's common, right? That's similar, that we have amongst the group. So what are the foods that you're eating, right? You got to be taking your fruits, your vegetables, your proteins, right? You got to be eating clean. That's if you want to. If that's the goal, if you want to achieve that, right? What are you daily intaking? It's not even just foods, right? What are you consuming as far as music? What are you watching, right? What are you involving yourself in? What kind of conversations in school, in class, in the dorm room are you involving yourself in? Are you reading, right? Are you writing? What are you consuming? Not just food, everything around you, right? All plays a part into developing that, if that's your goal, right? If that image is your goal. And you don't even have to look at that image as a physical image, but I want that to be a representation of success, of whatever you define as success, right? Whatever that is. What are you consuming on a daily basis that's going to help shape your mind, your mentality, and your body in order to be able to achieve that dream or that goal that you have for yourself, right? And then again, daily activities. Same thing what I just spoke of, daily activities. Are you consistent? Are you consistent? Are you disciplined in what it is that you are trying to accomplish, right? Because that takes discipline. It takes discipline. Daily activity, right? Don't just, I'm going to do this today, I feel good, and then tomorrow you take 2 days off, I can do this tomorrow, I can do this the day after, right? And you continue to keep pushing back. How disciplined are you? These are 3 steps in order to create a healthy mind. This is what I had to do in order to create a healthy mind, in order to get me back to where I needed to be in order to achieve my dream, my goal to playing at the Division I level, right? And the last thing that you guys got to remember is time, man. It takes time. So you can't go do 100 push-ups and then go drink a whole bottle of creatine and think that the next 3 days you're supposed to gain 5 pounds, have a 12-pack, and be stronger than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, no, it's not going to happen. It's going to take time. Every single thing that you want to accomplish in life, guys, is going to take time. But are you willing to let those things develop and understand that where you all are in life right now at your ages, right? If we're talking about body images, right? If we're talking about everyone that just raised their hand when I asked that question, right? If you're talking about body images, you have to understand that right now, every single one of you are in a position of, in your development, you're going to develop differently. Some of you have beards and some of you don't, right? Puberty is going to hit you at a different time than it is someone else, right? And that's all a part of our development as humans, but you have to understand that. And you have to develop patience. You have to develop patience. I've been this same height since high school, guys. I haven't gotten any taller, right? I can't control that. But what I can control is my patience and my ability to develop my body in the way that I can feel strong, right? I couldn't get no taller, but I can get wider. And I did it as best as I can, right? By working out every single day. And knowing that if I continue to stay disciplined, if I continue to stay consistent, that those results are going to show, right? And so, again, there's no way you're going to be able to drink some creatine, right, in one day and think that it's all going to come next week. It takes time, guys. It takes time for your body to develop. You're young. You're very young, right? You guys can probably sit down and eat a full plate of spaghetti and then go eat a bag of Sour Patch and then a bag of Skittles and drink 6 Gatorades and you won't gain a pound. Metabolisms are fast, right? So you got to begin to start understanding the anatomy of your body and at the ages that you are. Again, I got my degree in human development, family studies. I went and got my master's in adolescent development, right? So I know exactly where you all are right now, right? Patience. And something that I feel has really affected that thought process, right? Is social media. Social media, guys. How many of you have a TikTok account? Raise your hand. How many of you are on Instagram? Raise your hand. Right? Facebook, Snapchat, etc. Right? So you look at my TikTok profile. Just under 50,000 followers, right? 666.9K likes. You look at that without even knowing me, and you probably put me on a pedestal, right? You begin to start ranking me in a popularity level, right? All of you in this position right now are dealing with the battle of popularity, right? Some of you, and not all of you, are doing things or you're showing behaviors because you want to be popular. You want to be accepted, right? Social media influences all of that. And so now what I want you guys to start thinking about is how are you engaging in social media, right? Because social media does what? It begins to give us a false sense of identity, right? A false sense of identity. You just saw that last slide, that picture of me, right? You look at that picture and you begin to judge yourself and say that because I don't look like that, I'm not worth it, right? It happens. I'm pretty sure some of you have done it before, right? You see all these Instagram models, you see all these fitness people, and you're sitting here and you're working out consistently every single day, but you're also going to school, right? You're also doing homework. You're also doing other things. These people do that every day, all day for their job, right? So of course their bodies are going to look like that. But see, we don't think about the other things that play into it because of social media and how it ranks us with popularity, right? How it gives us this false sense of identity. You think that you have to get 1,000 likes on a video or on a picture in order for you to matter, or in order for someone to care about you, right? So when you get caught up into social media, you begin to create that false sense of identity, guys, right? And then that leads to a dissatisfaction in self. A dissatisfaction in self. Raise your hand if there's something about you right now that you don't like or that you have been dissatisfied with. Right? And one thing that I'll touch on, and you guys just raise it, and I guarantee you this is probably one of you, right? Now see, in this world that we live in, men are supposed to be strong, are supposed to be tough. You can't show emotions, you can't cry, right? And I'm pretty sure every single one of you have experienced something that has caused your emotions to heighten. But because of the world that we live in, because of your friends, your homies, your boys, right? You don't want to show those emotions. You don't want to be seen as weak, right? Because on social media, all these people are happy. They're all doing good. They're making money, right? They're getting comments. They're getting DMs, and you're not getting none of that. And now you're dissatisfied with yourself. You're dissatisfied with your body image. You're dissatisfied with how tall you are. You have some people wishing they were 6'6", and some people wishing they were 5'11", who are 6'6". It doesn't make sense, guys. We're all messed up. So the thing is creating a healthy mind, one thing that you have to understand, guys, is that you have to embrace yourself. You have to embrace every single thing about you, right? When you embrace every single thing about you, and you begin to love yourself for who you are, and you begin to accept the things that you have and build upon that, right? That's when you can escape the traps that social media puts on us, right? That's when you begin to escape the dissatisfaction in self, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with being dissatisfied with a particular thing, right? If there's something that you can work on, but don't be so dissatisfied to yourself to where you begin to hate yourself. Again, going back to words of value. How do you speak over yourself? How do you talk over yourself, right? I hate my eye color. I hate how long my hair is. I hate this. I hate that. I hate the fact that I'm bow-legged and he's not, right? Like, come on, guys, your words are value. So social media, again, this doesn't represent me having 50,000 followers. That has nothing to do with me, right? The only reason why I have those 50,000 followers is because of what I'm doing right now. I'm using my story. I'm talking to people. I'm bringing value into other people's lives, and so they follow that, right? That's the reason why I have 50,000 followers. Now I want you to go look at the other content creators that you follow, and not knocking any of them, but what are they doing, right, to put value out into the world? What are they doing? Because a lot of you are inspired by these people, right? And it's okay to be inspired by them, but how is that helping you as an individual, as your goals, as your dreams? What is their content doing to help you, right? And when you figure out what it is that their content is doing to help you succeed and get closer to your dreams and your goals, you can extract that, begin to apply it to your life, and begin to watch yourself move forward, right? Going back to the popularity, right? So there's some studies that show that adolescents who are perceived to be popular by their peers are more likely to engage in risk-taking behaviors such as delinquency, drug, and alcohol. But furthermore, adolescents who prioritize popularity over close friendships during high school had worse long-term psychological well-being with lower self-esteem and higher levels of anxiety and depression into early adulthood. Now, I put this on here because, as I spoke before, when I began to see my teammates in high school get scholarships, right, because they had the height and the size, I began to turn it into a popularity contest. I thought that because I was walking around the schools without offers and everyone else was praising my friends, right, who were getting scholarships, it began to turn into a popularity contest to me. I began to lose sight of what I was actually really chasing after, right? And that's what ended up happening. Anxiety, depression, right? Now, I never got to the point to where my behavior went to delinquency because I have a 5'5" mother who don't play no games. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't take it that far. But there are some people who will, right? You get caught up in this popularity thing, right? It's not all about being popular, guys. It's not all about being popular. One thing that I realized, right, because I wanted to change the financial situation for my family, right? That's why I wanted to make it to the NFL. That's why I wanted to get there, right? Because growing up in a single-parent home, my mom made great money, but after paying all the bills, taking care of 3 kids, right, we only had a little bit left. We made do with what we had, but it wasn't enough for us to not live paycheck to paycheck. So my drive, my motive was to make it to the NFL, right? But what I had to realize was that there are so many more people in the world who don't wear a helmet and shoulder pads that are still successful in doing just that for their family, right? You don't have to be popular in order to be effective in this world. You don't have to be that guy that everybody, yo, what's up, gives you a high five. You don't have to be that guy in order to be effective in this world. In order to be successful in this world. There are a lot of people that you don't know about that makes this world go around. They're not popular. People aren't liking their pictures on Instagram. People aren't talking about them in articles or asking them to do interviews. You have no idea. But they are happy and successful with who they are and what they're doing in life. Right? So you don't have to be popular in order to be successful or to be effective. Going back to that body dissatisfaction. So it's highly prevalent among adolescents. Again, body dissatisfaction. Is there anybody here who has any body dissatisfaction right now with themselves? Now I want y'all to look around. Keep your hands up, but look around. Look around, guys. Body dissatisfaction. You're not happy with where you are right now. You're not happy with how your body feels, right? And I guarantee you that social media has an impact on that. I guarantee you your peers and what they say, how they make jokes about you, right, has an effect on that. So I want you guys to start thinking about it. You just saw all your homies who raised their hands, whether you're friends or not, you just saw them raise their hands. So I want you to begin to start thinking about, have you participated in any jokes or any negative words towards another man or male inside this room that may have caused them to raise their hands tonight, right? And not to put blame on you and say it's not your fault, but I want us to be accountable of our actions and think about we're not the only ones dealing with this, right? Everybody is. Everybody is. And I know that some of you who raise your hands, you have dreams and goals in order to reach a certain body image, right? And you're going to get there. Again, you guys are what, 15, 16, maybe not even? Yeah. Trust me, by the time you hit 19 and 20 and 21, you will start to see those gains. You will start to, I didn't start looking like that until my sophomore year of high school. You can ask Coach Chris. I was just strong and skinny. That's the reason why I had a six-pack, because I was skinny. That was it. You know what I mean? So it took time in order for me to get there, and you're going to get there. But again, going back to this body dissatisfaction, right? So looking at this stat right here, 24% to 46% of adolescent girls and 12% to 26% adolescent boys report marked dissatisfaction. Now I want you to realize, now look at the percentages, right? For adolescent girls, it's higher than men. It's higher than men. And I put that stat on there because I know we're talking about the fellas tonight, but what I want you to realize is that even our women deal with it even more, right? And so our women's bodies aren't for any of you to judge, make comments on, right? To disrespect, because the percentages are higher. It's even higher, right? And how you treat and view yourself is how you're going to treat and view somebody else. And that's just real talk, fellas. And the reason why I put that on there is because I've been in situations where I had to correct a friend, where I had to correct someone. I've been in situations when I was young, dumb, and stupid and made comments about a woman's body that didn't make her feel good, right? And I'm pretty sure some of you have too. But today we put a stop to that because you see that the percentages are higher, right? For women who have dissatisfaction within their bodies. Again, going back to my studies of adolescent development, right? As adolescents, our women are going to develop a lot earlier than men anyways, right? Their bodies are going to develop a lot different and faster than you all anyways. So they have challenges to where if you have to wear a school uniform, it might not fit their body well because maybe their breasts or their legs have grown a little bit quicker and faster than some of their friends, than some of the people around them, right? That's how the body works, and that's how it's going to happen. And you guys need to understand that because that is natural, that is a natural process, right? We don't make fun of that. We don't use that for amusement of our friends. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're shaking your head. You agree with me, man. You agree with me, right? Somebody's feeling me. Somebody's hearing what I'm saying. So again, that percentage is higher for women, right? 12 to 26% for adolescent boys as well. Moving down to, in this body dissatisfaction, right? Body dissatisfaction predicts low self-esteem, depressive symptoms. How many of you can say that you've been a victim of low self-esteem? Depressed. I've been a part of all of that. And the reason why I put those 3 dots at the end is because the last point that it also talks about is suicidal ideation. It talks about suicidal ideation. And for me, I've never ever been a person where when things get tough, I begin to give up from the beginning. But there was one instance, there was one situation that happened to me to where I failed. I gave in and I gave up. And when I tell you that depression, right, body dissatisfaction, suicidal ideation was at its peak, it was at its peak. Now again, at the beginning of this, I just told you, trying to create a healthy mind, right? I built myself back up. I made it to the University of New Hampshire, right? Still to this day, I'm considered the strongest athlete pound for pound, right? First 2-time team captain. I accomplished so many things, right? Which tells you, yeah, he found that healthy mindset. He got it back. But I was challenged again, guys. I was challenged again. I'll never forget it. I remember it was spring football practice. We had about 5 practices left. It was April 13th, 14th, around that time. And I remember being inside my dorm room with 2 of my roommates. I had 2 roommates at the time. And it was probably about 10 p.m. and we were laying in our beds as we were getting ready to go to sleep. We had practice the next morning. We began to start talking about how we only had 5 practices left before we go home for summer of spring practice. My man Dane said, "Man, Trey, I can't wait to go home, man." He's from Washington, Seattle. My little brother JJ just started playing ball. He had his helmet and shoulder pads, man. I can't wait to go home and see him. It's gonna be great. I was like, "Yeah, man, it's gonna be awesome, bro. I can't wait to see your family too." Right? My guy Ivan, who's on the backside, he said, "Yeah, man, my sister, she's flying in from England. She's coming to visit the family this summer. I haven't seen her in 2 years. It's gonna be great." It's like, "That's awesome, bro. I can't wait to go home to Florida. Nice, good weather, see my friends and family," right? And we began to just start reminiscing and talking about family and getting excited. And I told him, I said, "Guys, we just gotta stay healthy. We only got 5 practices left. Let's finish out strong, man. And all 3 of us were on offense. So I said, we have to bring the offense up tomorrow. We got to bring the juice, guys. We got 5 practices left." It was like, "Yeah, Trey, let's do it. We're going to do it." And on that, we went to bed. We turned the lights off. 5 o'clock hit. I wake up, and I make my way down to the training room. I get ready, and we get out on the field. We're going through our stretch, and we're in a period where we're in a scrimmage right now, right? And little did I know that I was getting ready to push the offense, right? As the team captain, I was getting ready to hype the offense up. I was getting ready to be excited, right? As I'm walking out on the field for practice, it's going to be the best day. After we finish this, only got 4 practices left. But little did I know that my life was going to change forever. Little did I know that every single thing that I worked for in life was going to change forever. I remember lined up next to Trayvon Bryant, down, ready to go. I take a jab step across him, I get the ball, and I'm reading my line, right? Going from A, B to C gap. Everything started to close down. I began to bounce it off the backside of the tackle. The safety fit down. We hit head up at the line of scrimmage. I'm driving my feet. He's driving his feet. The equal forces begin to cause us to run laterally. And as we begin to run laterally, I knew in my head that I needed to give one more push in order to gain a yard so that production sheet doesn't come up with a negative result. I got to push us forward. We got to get closer to getting that first down. Or coach is going to yell, right? Coach Chris was my running back coach at that time, right? So again, we hit head up. We begin to run laterally. And as we begin to run laterally, I thought in my head, I said, all I have to do is plant my foot into the ground, throw him by so I can get upfield. I got to give it one more push, one more step. And as I begin to plant my foot into the ground and throw the safety by, the linebacker, giving an extra effort, jumped over offensive lineman and began to tip my hip. And as my foot got stuck into the ground, my knee snapped. It sounded like the start of a track race. And as my body fell over with both linebacker and safety, my knee went the other way. I hit the ground. And as my body began to erupt in flames, I knew that my entire life had just changed at that moment. Something wasn't right. It wasn't right at all. I'm grabbing my knee, I'm screaming, I'm yelling. Everybody else is silent, looking at me. And as the pain began to increase, I fell on my left side, right, and I began to roll around to my right, and like a panoramic view in slow motion, I just seen everybody standing there. And as I get to my right side, my eyes landed on Coach Chris, and it went back to the head coach. Head coach put his head down, blew the whistle and said, move the ball up 10 yards. Practice continue to keep going. Now at that time, when the ball moved up 10 yards and I began to start hearing the game that I love continue to play without me, all I did was look at the sky, and as my vision began to blur out and the voices of the trainers began to fade in and out, I began to ask, why me? I worked hard. I've done nothing wrong. I've treated everyone right. I've gave every single thing I've had to this program. I'm so close to my dream, my goal, to at least having the opportunity and the ability to show my talent to the college or to the NFL scouts. Even if I just get to a CFL team, I just want to be able to say that I tried, that I had the opportunity to present my talent in front of these coaches, but I can't. What is this? Why me? Right? So, when you have to make the decision to give the extra step or the extra push or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, if you know that the extra step and the extra push is going to break you, are you going to make the decision to still do it? Because at that point in time, I begin to question myself, like, Trey, why did you give extra, bro? Why did you put extra into this one? Why? I questioned myself. I begin to now start adopting that negative mindset. Every single thing that I had in high school, from when the coaches told me that I wasn't tall enough, began to creep back up into my mentality again. Because I couldn't figure out why me. Why me? Right? And so, as the trainers get me up, they get me on the table, right? They start doing the tests and adjustments to my knee. Do you feel this? Does it hurt? Nah, I don't feel any pain. I don't feel any pain. I don't feel any pain. I get into the doctors who do the x-ray, right? I get into surgery. I had to go through 2 different surgeries. I tore my ACL, my MCL, both medial lateral meniscus, and my patellar tendon all in one snap. Done. The only thing that was holding on was my PCL. That's it. And the reason why the pain didn't hurt was because the pain receptors had been torn. So there was nothing to be able to give the brain signals that I was in pain. Once the first initial rip calmed down. It was done for, guys. I went from being an elite athlete, top of the chain in the strength and conditioning program, to now being someone who is dependent on his teammates to help him take a shower, to help him sit down on the toilet, to help him get his food in the dining hall in the matter of seconds. And it can happen just like that for you all, right? And it might not be an injury. It might be a test grade. It might be an application to college that changes your entire life, whether good or bad. But are you going to make the decision to continue to keep pushing and to continue to keep striving? Yeah, you guys got out of study hall tonight, but we studying tonight. You feel me? We're in study hall tonight. You hear me? Because look, this is what my knee looked like after my first surgery. I haven't even had my ACL surgery yet. That was my patellar tendon surgery. Skinny, bone, skin. That's all it was. That's all it was. And even still right now to this day, my quads are still not as big as they were before that injury. And I'm still working to get myself back to what I was before that. That's why I train every single day still. That's why I work out just like I'm still a part of that UNH football team. Because there was a point in a moment in a time to where I couldn't do any of it. Because that's how much I cared and I loved about it. And so I'm going to ask you all, right, what is it that you care and that you love, right, that you're giving 50% on? That you're giving 50% on. Because at any moment, at any second, it can be taken away from you. And so now it got to the point to where, as I'm in my stages of healing, I begin to experience suicidal ideation. Because, again, going back to how society views us as men, right, you are supposed to be a provider and a protector. And when you feel worthless, and when you feel like you're not able to provide, when you feel like you're not able to protect, you feel like there's no need for you to be on this earth. Because the world, society says that that's all we're good for. We can't show our emotions. We can't cry. That makes us weak. So what place do you have on earth when every single thing has been taken from you? When you can't do anything, when you're depending on other people to help you take a shower. That was my thought process, and that was the position that I was in. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever experienced suicidal ideation or experienced or been in a dark place, but if you have, I know I'm speaking to you right now. I know I'm speaking to you right now, right? But what I had to remember, I embrace me, and that's why I'm free. I developed this quote. This quote became a part of my brand because as I began to get myself out of that dark place, as I began to start realizing the talents, right? As I began to start realizing and remembering who I am as a human being, as a man, I had to understand that in order for me to be free from the suicidal ideation, in order for me to be free from the anxiety, the depression, the body dissatisfaction, I had to embrace every single thing about me in order for me to get to that stage to where I can begin to start seeing myself progress, right? I embrace me, and that's why I'm free. What is it about you that you don't embrace? Is it the freckles on your face? Is it the skinny arms? Is it the big toe that kind of curves to the right a little bit more than any other toe on your foot? Is it the way your voice sounds? Is it the fact that you're in a single-parent home? Maybe your father wasn't in your life? Huh? What is it about you or your family or your life in general that you have not embraced yet? What is it that's holding you back from being successful and becoming the person that you want to be? In order to get healthy, right? In order to get healthy mentally, physically, emotionally, you have to embrace every single thing. You have to become consistent, right? You have to develop discipline in order to get there. I embrace me, and that's why I'm free. When I embraced the fact that I was not going to go to the NFL, that's when I began to start seeing life. When I embraced the fact that I wasn't the man on the team anymore because I went from being the starting running back, star player, to now going to a fifth-year senior running back who only played in the last 3-4 minutes of the fourth quarter of my senior year, of my last time of ever playing the game that I loved, that I grew up playing. I had to embrace that. And once I embraced that, I was able to get to a point in life to where I began to now discover my gift and my talent of speaking. I never thought I was going to be doing this, standing on stages, traveling, going to talk to. I never thought I was going to do that. It wasn't even my plan to get a master's degree. But that injury right there allowed me to become the first person in my family to get a master's degree. So now it's a whole other ball game, fellas. Now I'm changing the trajectory of the ones that are coming after me for my family. That's way bigger than getting a contract for the NFL, right? Because now back then, I thought wealth was getting money, right? But wealth comes in the knowledge and intellect that you have and that you possess. It comes in the knowledge that you have and that you possess. And so each one of you needs to become a student of life. Anybody know what a student of life is? Want to give it a crack of the definition? Just give it a try. What a student of life is? What do you think a student of life is? But how?
From their experiences.
I love it. Perfect. Just like that. Plain and simple. From their experiences, and not only from your experiences, but from others. Through that injury, I begin to look at the people who I look up to, and I look at the people who I don't look up to. And I begin to look at their life experiences, and I begin to see how is it that they got through it. And I took those experiences and I began to extract it, right? Extract knowledge and information from that and apply it to my own life, right? Because you can be the best player, you can be the smartest person in your class, you can be the best singer, you can be the best whatever. But if your character, right? If who you are as a person is terrible, if you're making bad decisions, if you're harassing people, if you're breaking laws, all of that talent doesn't mean anything. Because what's going to happen is people are going to judge you by the content of your character. Right? So those talents don't mean anything. I think about my man Antonio Brown, great wide receiver, but some of the things that he has done, right, shows that he has bad character in some areas, and people talk about that more than his ability to be a great NFL football player. So don't think that your talent is going to make you somebody who people are going to put on a pedestal. You have to match that same intensity with who you are as a person. Right, guys? That's what we got to do. That's what we have to do. So again, I embrace me, and that's why I'm free. What is it about you guys that you haven't embraced? That's not allowing you to have that healthy mentality. That's not allowing you to start becoming more disciplined in the things that you're eating, right? Because like they say, you are what you eat. Yeah, you are what you eat. You are what you consume. You are what you allow yourself or allow access to you. You are that, right? So don't think you can hang out with the guys that smoke pot and do this and think that you can hang out with them and then not identify yourself as that, to be a part of that. If that's what you allow access to you, it's a part of you. So we got to get to a point in life where we begin to start defining who we are as young men, right? Where we begin to start moving forward to where it is that we want to be in life and begin to start putting ourselves in positions to where we can accomplish those things by becoming disciplined, right? By becoming consistent, by talking positive over ourselves, adding value, right? Adding value, and getting ourselves into the position where we want to be. That's what we got to do. And so that's basically all I got for you guys, man. That's my message for tonight. My social media is at Talking with Trey. On TikTok, and yeah, go ahead, pull it out. TikTok, Instagram, those are the main two platforms.
What?
Go ahead and add, and the content that you're going to get, the content that you're going to see, you're going to see fitness content, right? You're going to see workouts. You're going to hear messages like this, what you just heard tonight. If you guys haven't signed up for a session tomorrow, sign up. If there's anything that I said tonight that you want to talk more on, if you want a little bit more information on foods or certain workouts or anything that you've been thinking of tonight, sign up for a session with me tomorrow. Let's talk one-on-one. Let's get a little bit deeper, right? Sign up for it tomorrow. Add me on social media. DM me, ask me questions, whatever it is that you need. I'm here because I was in the same position where you are. I was in the same seats that you are in, right? But where I was located, there wasn't nobody that was coming back to give this knowledge, this information, and to share those experiences that they had, right? So now I'm here to do that for y'all. No matter what position, no matter where you are, no matter how successful you are, no matter if you have the upper hand, the lower hand, talk to me. I'm talking with Trey. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys all for coming. If anybody wants a short session with Trey tomorrow, come see me. You can sign up. Otherwise, if you want to stay back, have any questions, go ahead. The rest of you can head back to your dorm. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Scooter? Oh, I was trying to get one, but
I know, that's why I
6 years now. 6 years. Yep.
do the same thing tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, so tomorrow it'll be. I think 6 hours.
Me and you? I know.
Yeah. So
I got it.
Yeah, so we talked about the first 2 minutes was basically, how do we get out, right? And so a lot of you guys are in a position where you want to develop stronger bonds, right? You want to develop a stronger mentality. So we kind of talked about what are the 2 things that we can do to develop that, right? So the 2 things, right? Positive words are valuable. But everything you understand that it takes time, right? You have to be disciplined, you have to be consistent in what it is that you want to do, right? And then also the last thing is use comparison to extract knowledge and information from what somebody else is doing or do. But then you start judging yourself because somebody may seem happier before starting doing that, right? So that's what we do.
Hey, Trey.
Alright, cool. Yeah, totally. Sign up. Yeah, thanks, man.
I'm Scott.
Awesome, man. Look, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Alright, for sure. What's up, boss? How you doing, man?
How are you?
Wanted to shake your hand.
I told that was rad.
I wrote, and really, like, mentally, that's 90% of the battle.
Been tracking up really shape a ride on this now.
Especially after this last, like, 7-8 months. And, it's over the winter where you just, train by yourself. You don't really, you're really not, like, getting all of the order, right? And then it's really getting into those dog days. And it's just, like, working out.
Keep it to it, man. Can't wait to see you tomorrow morning. For sure. Alright. What's up, man? How you doing? Yeah.
Hey, Trey, can I interrupt you? Sorry, really quick. You could play a list now? Do you want to stay this way? You sure? All right, cool. What's the latest you want to go? Otherwise, I'll just point it to you, like.
Let's do latest, I'll say 2:30.
Okay. All right. Anybody want? How about, would you want to come at 8:15? You guys, okay. What are your names?
And the first thing I did, go out and break my arm. So I had to sort of walk to the sidelines.
You good with that? Okay, so we'll be in the counseling center, okay? Okay, see you then.
So when I got out there, I loved it. So.
Yeah.
Anybody
That's
have
awesome, man.
time?
Those experiences are going to shape you. So we come see you tomorrow. Awesome. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Alright. Alright, man. What's up, boss?
Counseling center around that time, okay? 11 o'clock. Yep, perfect, 11 o'clock.
We'll dive deep into it, man. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Yeah, you too. What's up, man? something to go to sleep on, right? So comparison, look at that seat, right? You look at somebody like that picture I showed you in the PowerPoint, right? At that time when I was in the gym, I was working out, looking good, right? The reason why we can't compare, the reason why I don't want you to compare, is because you never know what that person is dealing with on the inside, right? So they may look good, they may be working out hard, but they're probably depressed, and that's probably their only way of dealing with depression, right? But you may be good, right? Your heart may be good, you're successful in life, right? So it's what about what's on the inside, right? So don't compare yourself about the outside, right? It's all about what's on the inside. But we'll talk about that more if you signed up. All right? I'll see you, man.
I just want to say thank you, guys.
Yeah.
And me and him are gonna talk really
Cool.
Grab some pizza to go
like,
if you want some
when I was
too.
in, is it true, like,
Yep.
and like you said, I really compare myself to people, every single people. Like, I just feel like kids my age and they're going everywhere, but obviously it's being seen, and I compare myself to them.
Yep. Yes. We can get deep into that. That's what social media does, bro. Like right now in this time in life, everybody is trying to become a content creator, become TikTok famous, or have a viral video. But we put more value into that, right? And it puts us in that position to where we begin to now start judging ourselves because we're not doing what they're doing, right? But you have to humble yourself and find your own path. And just know that whatever you're trying to reach in life is going to happen. What's meant for you will happen. It just might not happen at the same time that everybody else is being successful. But as long as you stay in your own lane, you'll find it successful. You're good. So we'll definitely talk about that tomorrow. All right? Like, oh man, no problem. Yeah, no problem.
I know you said don't compare yourself, but you're gonna give me a time like over here. You're not gonna have to open up for 3 years. You come up here for an hour. I said the same darn thing. I'm not on stage. I'm sitting in a chair. You come in here and like, all right, I got it. I'm like, yo, all right, fine. I see how that is.
Oh man.
Nah, man, that was great.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man.